Hi, thanks, Shannon. Thank you, everybody. It's quite a lineup I get to follow. First, to Mike Malley, I want to thank you for all your Guinness. You may provide it, and I do the drinking. So I'm honored to sort of meet you. It's very interesting that Neil snuck in, but there's a whole bunch of mics up here holding a mic in honor of Mike, which I think is really fun. I don't think it was intended, but I wanted to tell two very brief stories, and then a couple of sentences of a comment, and then we'll bid you happy St. Patty's Day and have another drink. In March of 1979, I left a small town called Brooklyn, and I moved up to this town, and I was on a plane by myself carrying a duffel bag, and I had a seeing eye dog. And I sat next to a businessman who lived in this area. We were chatting it up, and he was telling me about Albany, and I was asking him where to go and where to do. And first time, I never landed in Albany yet. Just coming up on a plane. And the guy says, oh, you got to go here, you got to go there, you got to learn about this, you got to learn about that. And I said, well, what about the bars? Any place good to go? And he said, yeah, you got to go to the Washington Tavern. I said, where is it? He said, it's right in the center of Albany on Western Avenue. I said, okay, great, thanks. So I get to the university, and that night, I got some assistance from one of the orientation directors, and she said that she would take me out to get me something to eat and drink. And I said, great. So she was taking me to this bar, which name shall not be mentioned, up on Western Avenue, right across from the entrance. And we get out of the car, and I said, no, can we go somewhere else? And she says, where do you want to go? I said, some guy recommended to me on the plane to Washington Tavern. She goes, oh, WT's. Sure, let's go there. So we come down the street, we get a parking spot pretty close, and the very first thing I ever did in this town was step into the Washington Tavern, walked up to the bar, and the first person that I met was a man with an Irish brogue who said, welcome, how are you? Guy looked around, he's like, he wasn't talking to me, was he? I'm nobody, I'm this kid just walking into town. And he was welcoming me and my dog, and we had a sandwich and a drink, and I was in heaven. That was a long time ago for me. A couple years later, I was at SUNY Albany, and I ran for student government president. And I won. It was a phenomenal opportunity, a really tremendous thing. I was so excited. And needless to say, I celebrated the win, going out with my friends. I slept a little late. No reason you can imagine why that might happen. I'm coming around the corner. I looked at 237 Quail, which is a wedge from here, if you can hit a wedge. I walk around the corner at Western and Quail. I come walking down this street with my seeing eye dog to take the bus on the corner of Ontario and Western. I walk right by this establishment, which of course is WT's, and I know well, and I hear, hello, Mr. President! And I'm in shock, like it just happened. How did it? The first person to ever address me as Mr. President was Michael Byron. And he said, come on in, have one drink. Just have one. I'm like, Michael, it's 10:30 in the morning. Just one, it's fine, come on. I came in the bar. My first day on the job as the president, I don't remember anything except I got home at 6 p.m. I never got to the office. So I was president of the student government for 364 days. The first day was the best of them. In sum, I tell you those stories because those are two of the most phenomenal highlights of my time here in this town, even since that time to today. This is home for me, a little boy from Brooklyn who can't leave the city, but found his home now in this city. And part of it's because of the wonderful joy that I've gotten from the leadership and the class and the generosity of Michael Byron, Pat Byron, their daughters, their family, and their welcoming. They stand for something very important that helped me be better at what I do as a citizen. And that is they stand for excellence, high quality, community service, friends and family, and no nonsense. And that is what I stand for. I'm sorry I had to borrow it from Michael Byron, but he was the best teacher I ever had in school.
Very good.
So on that note, I don't know why I was asked to speak, but I am so honored and thrilled that I get the opportunity to represent your customers. We love you. And we're so happy to be here. 40 now and 40 more, we will have nothing but happiness and success.
Sox, Joey, right? Go Red Sox. You going tomorrow morning?